Recording. Hello, everyone. We'd like to welcome you today. Today, I'd like to talk about something that quietly becomes one of the greatest fears that we have as we age, and that's falling. Now, that might not be at that age yet, but I know that you know somebody who's at that age. And sometimes it's not just the fall itself, the injury that could happen, but it's what comes after the fall. A loss of confidence, a loss of independence, and sometimes that fall is the beginning of a downward spiral in overall health. But here's the encouraging truth. Balance is not something you either have or don't have. It's something that you can build. And when is a good time to start building? Well, today is the day. So let's take a look at that. Your brain is where balance begins. Your brain is constantly processing information from your body, where you are in space, how fast you're moving, whether you're stable or you're off center. It's like your body's control center. It makes thousands of tiny little adjustments every second that keep you upright. And when you're young, well, your brain is sharp. Your pathways are open. Information runs from the bottom of your toe all the way up to your brain and then back down again. So our goal then is to try to remain as sharp as we can, keep those pathways open, and keep your brain working as best as it can. Another part that helps us with our balance is your inner ear. And this might be a good thing for you to do your little research on this week, because we could talk for an entire hour just on the amazing inner ear. It's a system that helps to control balance. It senses your motion, your direction, and your position, almost like a built-in level, with the little bubble on it, and you want to make everything level, or a little gyroscope. And as we age, this system inside your ear, it can become less sensitive. Or perhaps what happens over time is that you have too much inflammation or fluid around it, or the fluid may thicken and it doesn't move as freely. And so these things may cause a person to be dizzy, unsteady, or less confident in their movements. And so truly, we want to make sure that these fluids, there's no inflammation in the area, and the fluids stay thin, and everything's moving the way it should, and that your nerves stay sensitive to pick up the information they need to. The last thing we're going to talk about is your muscles. Now, strong muscles, especially in your legs and in your core, are actually what help to keep you steady. They help to catch you if you trip, and they adjust quickly if you lose your footing, and they help you to move with confidence. Without strength, even the best balance system can't do its job. And as we age, we know we slowly lose our strength. We no longer play like we did as a child. Instead, we go through limited ranges of motion, doing small routines to accomplish our daily tasks. And you know what they say, muscles, if you don't use them, you lose them, right? And so therefore, we get a lot weaker as we age. So what can we do to really help with our brain, our balance in our inner ear, and our muscles? Well, here are a couple of things that we can do to really help with our balance. First thing is just to stand on one foot. Now, you might say, that sounds pretty easy, but when was the last time you tried doing it? I would suggest you do it standing next to a countertop, because as you stand on one foot, go ahead, if you start to find that you're losing your balance, just touch down and you regain your balance. Go ahead and lift your hand up, and when you feel strong and stable, with this little exercise, go ahead and do it on the other foot, right? And it may take a while of doing this every day. Maybe do it when you go to brush your teeth for a few seconds, 30 seconds every day. What you find after a couple of weeks is that, hey, now you can stand and you're nice and strong and stable because you've taught those muscles and everything of how to work. And now you can challenge yourself by go ahead and bringing your leg out a little bit, bring it in, kick your leg out, back. As you move that dangling leg around, we'll see how your body continues to hold this strength and hold your balance. When that becomes pretty easy, go ahead and try closing your eyes. Woo. Now that's going to use all of your sense of balance, your nervous system, and your brain. And that can be very, very challenging. So always make sure that you're in a safe environment where you can just touch down onto a countertop if you need to, because chances are you could fall over and lose your balance when you try that. Can you stand and put your pants on while you're standing on one foot and doing that, right? Or how about socks? Now, don't just go ahead and try this, but instead, when you do try it, make sure you're next to a wall so that when you go to fall over, you just kind of, can catch yourself, that you don't hurt yourself. But all of these are little things you can do in order to really work your balance system. Would you like something else? How about walking heel to toe? So heel to toe across the room. Go ahead and pick a room and say, wow, anytime I come in here, I'm just going to take 10 steps from heel to toe. And you think, well, that sounds pretty easy, but go ahead and try it. You might find to start off with, you have to go 1 foot, right? And then the next one kind of next to it. And then as time goes on, those feet can go more and more in a line as you develop that sense of balance back in again. Here's another one, standing heel to toe. I'm going to have my arm out in front of me and take a look at your thumb, and then bring your thumb to the side, keeping your eye on it, and then bring it back in front of you again. Now, this is a beautiful exercise. Go ahead and try this like 5 times, right? And then go ahead and do the other side 5 times. And in doing so with that little movement of your neck, you can just imagine what you're going to be doing in order to keep things free and smooth as things are moving through the whole spinal cord and into the brain and working that out. So that's a pretty cool little exercise to do. Again, be careful, because if you don't have a good sense of balance, you might be really testing that. So be in a place where you can touch on something as you do that and build up that balance. And so lastly, you always want to make sure we stay as active as we can. Park away from the grocery store so that you can get some walking in. Go out for a walk as much as you can. Get as many steps in as you can. Stretch throughout the day. Do some gentle strengthening exercises to keep your muscles strong and moving through their full ranges of motion. And then lastly, be mindful of your posture, your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. We've talked about that before. As your shoulders come forward, it shuts off this highway here. And so therefore that can throw off your information going to your brain. Go ahead and roll those shoulders back with a good posture, and that's going to help out quite a bit. Now, these are all small habits, and they're kind of like putting deposits into your balance bank. And over time, they will add up, and your body will be able to balance itself better, and therefore avoid having a fall. Now, the core to everything that we've talked about so far, your brain, your inner ear, your muscles, they all need healthy circulation, right? So the more circulation you have, the better the circulation, the more oxygen, nutrients, taking away waste products, and supporting those cells to have the energy they need to do what they need to function. And we all know that as we age, obviously circulation, especially in the microcirculation, slows down. So that's why I truly love having the BEMER, because it's in my home. 8 minutes. It supports that circulation going to the brain, keeping it sharp, going through the nerves, keeping the pathways open, right? Going to my muscles, helping them to repair and replace themselves, and also to the inner ear to keep the inflammation down, right? And so the better we do this, the better our muscle performance, recovery, more energy, and the body's able to handle it, things better. So to bring it all together, I want to leave you with this thought. Your future stability is being built on what you're doing today. So every step you take, every moment you challenge your balance, every time you support your body's circulation, you're investing in a stronger, safer, more confident future. So falling may be a common fear, but it doesn't have to be your story. You may have more control over this than you think. Stay smart, stay consistent, and support your body. Give yourself the gift of strength, stability, and confidence for the many years to come. Thank you for joining us.